I didn't take a loan from the bank.
For social media?
Yes, for social media.
You can call me Raphael.
Raphael?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. I like that. So,
The focus of international interest turns to South Africa.
Raphael Tuju. Many Kenyans know him in different ways. Some know him as a politician, others as a journalist, and millennials especially remember him for the hard-hitting STI awareness documentaries that aired in the 1990s and early 2000s, content that scared many into taking their health seriously. If you know, you know. But behind the titles, the suits, and the public image, Tuju is also a father of three, a businessman, and a Starehe Boys Center alumnus, a man who has cheated death twice and weathered scandals that played out very publicly. Welcome to Trending Peeps, where we unpack deep stories that shaped Kenya, and today we are looking at the rise and the family breakdown and the controversies surrounding Raphael Tuju. Tuju attended Majiwa Primary School and Nakuru West Primary School before joining Starehe Boys Center and School. He later earned a Master's of Arts in Mass Communication from the University of Leicester. Don't know if I pronounced that right, in the UK. Before politics, Tuju was a journalist, television producer, and communications consultant. He made history as the first African TV producer to win an International Emmy Award for documentary on health and development. In 2002, he entered politics, winning the Rarieda parliamentary seat, launching a career that would see him serve in cabinet and become one of the country's most recognizable public figures. In 1986, Tuju married Ruth Akinyi Tuju. Together, they had 3 children, twin daughters Alma and Waima, and a son known as Mano Tuju. For years, the family presented as a model political household. They featured in Drum magazine, which showcased their 20 million Karen home sitting on 10 acres, complete with twin staircases and a chandelier, an image of stability, wealth, and power. The twins, Alma and Waima, also became minor celebs in the early 2000s. Alma teamed up with media personality Talia Oyando, later to make the children a music duo known as Talma. Their songs were played on The Beat and other local TV stations at the time. They are also known for making the household hit We Are Children of the World. If you search for that on YouTube, you'll get to see the Tuju twins and Talia Oyando back in the early 2000s singing a song to raise awareness on children's rights. Behind the scenes, however, cracks were forming. By 2011, Tuju says the marriage had taken a dramatic turn. In 2013, he formally filed for judicial separation after 27 years of marriage. In sworn court documents, Tuju alleged that 1. His wife was adulterous, 2. She was abusive and violent, 3. She openly carried out the alleged affair in the presence of family and staff. He named Tony Ogunda, a former GSU officer, as the alleged lover, listing him as a correspondent in the separation case. Tuju claimed he had photographic evidence and phone records reportedly gathered by a private investigator to support his allegations. Who was Tony Ogunda? Tony Ogunda was a former General Service Unit, or otherwise better known as GSU officer. Media reports from the time indicated that he had previously served in Tuju's security detail. Some claim that he was Tuju's personal bodyguard, placing him in close proximity to the family. That alleged relationship became central to the divorce proceedings and soon after to a much darker chapter. On 31st May 2013, Ogunda was arrested at one of Tuju's Upper Hill properties for alleged trespassing after Tuju reported that Ogunda was violating a court order barring him from the premises.
There's a restraining order on him. Not allowing him to go to that house.
What we have received is a complaint of trespass. That's what we are investigating.
Ogunda was briefly detained and later released on bond. While in custody, Ogunda told journalists a very different story. One, he claimed he had been invited by Ruth Akinyi, Tuju's then estranged wife. Two, he alleged that Tuju's security team assaulted him, smashed windows, and threatened him at gunpoint. Tuju categorically denied these allegations, saying he only called the police.
We have not received anything about the beatings. What we have received is a complaint of trespass. That's
I
what
took photos of the guy and her. Okay.
Yes.
And she's terrified of what is going to happen because I'm taking these photos to court.
Tony Ogunda's death, July 2013. On the morning of 2nd July 2013, Tony Ogunda was found dead on a sofa inside a house on Matumbato Road, Upper Hill, a property owned by Raphael Tuju and used by his foundation.
All this was happening here at the compound of Hope Foundation, a non-governmental organization linked to
A post-mortem conducted by government pathologists found 1. Blunt force trauma to the head, 2. Internal bleeding to the brain. The death was ruled suspicious, triggering a major police investigation.
At all there is any suspicion, and there is suspicion in this case, then the family has got a right to get their own pathologist to be present during the post-mortem.
Police questioned 1. Ruth Akinyi, 2. Raphael Tuju, 3. Tuju's son, Mano, who had reportedly been drinking with Ogunda days earlier. 4. Friends including Cosmas Okoth, Ruth's nephew, in whose company Ogunda had been the night before his death.
A friend of the deceased, Cosmas Okoth Opondo, informed them of the death. Police say the deceased was found lying on a sofa set with a syringe and a drug container labeled Humalog.
we have not been.
Friends also say that Ogunda had mentioned death threats in weeks before he died. Briefing the media after the 3-hour grilling session by detectives at the Kilimani police station, Tuju said he has recorded a statement over the death of the former General Service Unit, GSU officer, whom he had accused of wrecking his marriage.
You have 3 court cases against him. 2 of those court cases are criminal cases, and one of the cases is a marital case.
The former Arieda MP said that it was unfortunate that the deceased's body had been found on his property, even though there is an active court order that bars him from going to any of his premises. He went further ahead to say, "I can't say too much. I don't want to speculate anything. I want to give the police the space to do their investigation," stated the former MP. Tuju told the police that he was in South Africa when Ogunda passed away. He only came back to the country on Friday. He also confirmed that he was aware that his nephew, Cosmas Okoth, who was with Ogunda before he died, lived at his Upper Hill property. Tuju said he raised Okoth, who was orphaned after his father, Tuju's brother-in-law, passed on.
Okoth, who is also helping the police with the investigation, happens to be a nephew of my wife. He was living in those premises with my permission.
Okoth was presented at the High Court on Friday, but police asked for 7 days to complete investigation. According to the police, Ogunda had been with his friends, Collins Okoth, on a drinking spree Monday night before they went back to the house at about 2 a.m. Okoth said in his statement to the police that they went to the city center for a while on Monday before walking downtown to Relax Pub on River Road, where they had drinks until about 1:30 a.m. Ombeta, who was Ogunda's lawyer, wants Okoth to explain what happened to Ogunda's mobile phone, which has since gone missing. He said, and I quote, "Okoth told the police that the late Ogunda slept on a sofa set, so he must tell us how my client got that dent because the sofa is very soft and could not have caused it," said Ombeta. Ombeta also dismissed reports that a container and a syringe were found beside his client's body as a cheap attempt by some people to divert attention from the investigations. Okoth was arrested briefly, then released after prosecutors said there was no evidence linking him to the death. Despite intense investigation, no one was ever convicted, and the case ended without a public criminal judgment, what many later described as a case that died quietly. Ruth Akinyi's case. In September 2013, Ruth Akinyi was separately charged with assault following an incident involving a watchman at a Nairobi residence. The watchman alleged she knocked him down with her car. Ruth denied intent, saying she was trying to escape suspected attackers. She was released on bail. The case added to the mounting legal and personal pressure she was facing at the time. The mental incapacity filing, a family rift exposed. During proceedings related to Ruth Akinyi's case involving a watchman, her daughters Alma and Waima Tuju, through their lawyers, raised the issue of their mother's mental capacity. They argued that, 1, their mom was not mentally fit to stand trial at the time, 2, the court should order a psychiatric assessment, and lastly, proceedings should not continue until her mental state was clarified. However, the courts threw out the mental assessment issue, saying it had no legal grounds. Maintenance, silence, and a changed life. During the separation proceedings, Tuju offered 200,000 per month in maintenance to his ex-wife Ruth Akinyi, plus other support, and an offer reported in court filings, not automatic payment. Years later, journalists spotted Ruth, that's in 2015, running a small roadside restaurant along Mombasa Road. Compared to the current estate and dairy restaurant lifestyle, dairy restaurant belonged to Tuju, the media framed it as a downgrade. When approached for a comment, she declined interviews, choosing silence amid years of legal battles, public scrutiny, and sensational reporting. Tuju's loan woes. Aftermath. Separately, Tuju later faced major loan disputes tied to Dairy Limited, dairy restaurant that is located in Karen, a very posh restaurant. The case involved billions of shillings, court cases in Kenya and UK, receiverships, and auction threats, battles that dragged on quietly through appeals and legal stays. At some point, the auctioneers wanted to auction Tuju's properties to get back the money they loaned him. The loan had now accumulated to billions of Kenya shillings. However, a court in Kenya ruled otherwise, and the auctioning was stopped. This story has highlighted family versus vulnerability and a scandal that erupted loudly, then faded into silence, and how public lives can unravel far from the spotlight. What have we not mentioned in this story? Tell us in the comments. And yeah, if you'd like more of such stories, do subscribe to Trending Peeps. Catch you next time.